Hi guys, how is everyone? I hope everyone's doing well. Today's topic is JVP or the jugular venous pressure. This is a little bit challenging, but I thought I'll try and make it as easy as possible. So let's start. What is the JVP? JVP is basically a representation of what the pressure in the right atrium and the venous system is. So, whenever there is an increase in pressure in the right atrium, there will be an increase in JVP. There are four major causes. One is cardiac tamponade, another one constrictive pericarditis, fluid overload, and heart failure. So, this is what the internal jugular vein of a human looks like. So it's very important that we look at the internal jugular vein, and although the external jugular vein is present just lateral to the internal jugular vein, we don't measure it there. So JVP is basically measured by the internal jugular vein. It's present between the earlobe and the medial clavicle, and it's actually underneath the sternocleidomastoid. So to check JVP ideally in a person, we seat the person on their back and at an angle of 45 degrees, turn the head slightly to the left, and if required, if the lighting is not good, you can shine a light diagonally across the patient's neck for the better visualization of the pulse. So there are two pulsations that occur at the neck around the same area, which is the carotid pulse and the jugular venous pulse. So there are two ways to differentiate between these two. So JVP basically is two pulses per heartbeat. So with our finger, if we measure the JVP and if we check for the pulse, it's more like a flutter under the sternocleidomastoid. This has got two pulses, whereas the carotid is got just one pulse per heartbeat. So if you put a finger over the carotid, it will just be a palpable pulsation. It's not like a flutter. It's a proper pulsation. A third way to differentiate or to check for the JVP is by putting pressure over the right upper quadrant of the abdomen. And here you will see, after putting the pressure, there will be a temporary rise in the JVP, and this is called the hepatojugular reflex. Now coming to measurement of the JVP. So there are four basic steps how to measure. First, we find the angle of the sternum. Second, we measure vertically from this point, that is from the angle of the sternum. Third, we assess where the JVP is. So the vertical height from the sternal angle to the level of JVP or the height of the JVP is our JVP height. So normally it should be less than 3 centimeters. Anything more than 3 centimeters is a raised JVP. Coming to the jugular venous pressure waveform, this is, at least it was, a nightmare for me when I was in medical school, but I think this requires a lot of practice. It's obviously very volatile, but with repeated practice it will become easier. So there are basically three parts. There are three upstrokes and three downstrokes. So the upstrokes are A, C, and V wave, and then we have an X descent, another X descent, and a Y descent. So let's start with the functioning of a normal heart. We need to get into the basic functioning of the heart to understand the JVP. So in this diagram, you can see that the internal jugular vein, it drains into the superior vena cava. Underneath, you can see the inferior vena cava, and all these venous drainage happens into the right atrium, which passes through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle, through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary arteries and into the lung. So this is what the right side of the heart to the lung really looks like. So the A wave is due to atrial contraction. We are measuring, let me just clarify, these up waves, these upstrokes are all about when the pressure is rising in the internal jugular vein, and downstrokes are when it's falling in the internal jugular vein. So A wave is an upstroke, as we can see. Here the right atrium contracts. So when the right atrium contracts, the blood goes through the internal jugular vein into the right ventricle through the superior vena cava. So there is an increased pressure in the right atrium, which forces the blood downwards, but at the same time, it forces it a little upwards so that the level of blood in the internal jugular vein also rises. So this rise is demonstrated as the A wave. Now coming to the X descent. This X descent is the next step. It is caused by the relaxation of the atria. So the blood flows from the internal jugular vein into a relaxed atria. So because of the relaxation, there is a drop in the JVP. Also, during the same time, the blood flows from the right atrium into the right ventricle, completing the ventricular filling, due to which there is a further fall in JVP. C wave is basically the start of systolic contraction. That means the right ventricle contracts. This opens the pulmonary valve, pushes the blood into the pulmonary artery. This pressure pushes up against a closed tricuspid valve as well. And it bulges slightly into the atria. The tricuspid valve bulges slightly into the atria, and this pressure extends into the superior vena cava and further into the IJV. So the remainder of the X descent is basically the end of ventricular contraction, or the final part of ventricular contraction. Here, the ventricle squeezes out as much of blood as possible and it becomes really small. So this creates a space in the pericardium. It's almost like a vacuum. Since the ventricle is so small, it pushes out all the blood it has inside, and this creates more space in the atria to fill blood. Due to there's more atrial filling, there is a drop in IJV pressure. V wave happens when the atria relaxes. So the right atrium starts to fill with blood. The tricuspid valve is still closed from the systolic contraction of the right ventricle. So as the atria fills completely, this of pressure, it extends to the superior vena cava and the internal jugular vein, so the JVP further rises. Finally, the Y descent. This occurs when tricuspid valve opens and all the blood flows from the right atrium to the right ventricle, and the JVP falls. And then the cycle is repeated. We are back to the A wave where the atria contracts. So in summary, A wave happens when there is atrial contraction. X descent happens when there is atrial relaxation. C wave when there's right ventricular contraction causing the tricuspid valve to bulge into the atria. X descent, that's the second X descent, happens when there is a right ventricular contraction. It's the final part of the systolic function of the right ventricle. It becomes really constricted, trying to push out all the blood it has. It creates an almost vacuum. The atria expands and the blood drains from the IJV into the atria through the superior vena cava. V wave is right atrial filling. Due to that, there is a lot of the pool of blood in the IJV. Y descent is due to the opening of the tricuspid valve. Because all the blood flows from the right atrium to the right ventricle, the level of blood falls in the IJV and the pressure falls in the IJV. So some very common pathologies that we should keep in mind and how IJV will help us in clinical practice is, number one, A waves can disappear. This happens in atrial fibrillation. It makes sense because A wave happens because of atrial contraction, and in atrial fibrillation, there's no proper contraction. It's basically just fluttering around and it's not like completely contracting. Large A waves can be caused by anything which causes massive increase in pressure in the IJV. So anything that makes the flow of blood from the right atrium to the right ventricle difficult, or anything that causes like increased pressure. So this pressure will push more blood back into the IJV. So these conditions could be right ventricular hypertrophy, pulmonary arterial hypertension, pulmonary stenosis, or tricuspid stenosis. Large V wave, there is only one cause, that is tricuspid regurgitation. So that's about it. I hope I summarized it as quickly and as clearly as possible. You can watch this video as many times as you like till you're confident, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and post down any queries that you have in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much.